Cambria is a quartz manufacturer based in Minnesota. Corey, teach us how quartz is made.
Well, I like to compare it to making cookies. If you can imagine you making cookies or watching your mom make cookies, the first step for any quartz manufacturer is to create their recipe. So when you're talking about a recipe with quartz, it's 93% quartz. You've got small pieces all the way down to sizes of sand, up to pieces as big as your thumbnail or bigger. Once they do that, you got 93% of quartz, and then the other 7% is the binder that holds it together, and then a pigment that creates the color and the design, because quartz naturally is white. So if you can imagine a monster mixer, you know, the small one for your cookies, obviously this one's as big as a building. They put that formula in there for that design, and once they mix all of that up, it comes out of that mixer looking like wet gravel. It comes out on a conveyor belt into the cookie sheet, just like we're still making cookies here. Once you get that into the cookie sheet, they fill the entire cookie sheet with their cookie dough, or obviously their quartz recipe in this case, and it gets shaken until all of the quartz flattens out. Once it's all flattened out, they put another cookie sheet on top of it, suck all the air out of it so that it's completely non-porous. There's nothing that can get in it. There's no holes or voids. It's you know, all the volume in that material is filled. And then just like cookies, once again, you put it in the oven, and when it comes out, you end up with a piece of quartz that looks a lot like this. It's just like normal quartz, but there's no shine to it yet. So the last piece of that is that they take a huge disc that's shaped like a horseshoe that has diamond bits on it, and it rubs on the surface of the slab to make it shiny.
Corey, what makes Cambria different from other quartz manufacturers?
What's really neat about Cambria is, first off, it's owned by the Davis family, so it's a family-owned business. The Davis family has owned Davisco or Davisco for years, and Davisco you probably haven't heard of, but owns all the dairies, owns all of the cheese-making process in Minnesota, and they actually make 90% of all the cheese for Kraft. So more than likely, you've already bought a product from them, you just didn't know it. What was really neat is that all the big manufacturers use the same manufacturer to make their quartz. It's called Brenton. And Cambria was able to move away from that Brenton technology and use the cheese mixing process to mix their quartz. What's really neat about that is that they revolutionized the quartz industry from being a speckly, boring product to designs like you can see behind me that have all kinds of movement and are really unique.
All right, what else makes Cambria unique?
A couple other things, obviously the style and design with that technology that we talked about, but also that every single design that Cambria has is all the same price, and that they're working through their current inventory, but every single slab is going to be offered only in a jumbo size, so you don't have to worry about big islands or anything anymore. They come 132 long by 65.5 inches deep.
Those are huge slabs.
It's been a huge revolutionary thing for the industry.
Down here, massive slabs.